All right, let's talk about a legend, the Mercedes S-Class, specifically the W221, built from about 2007 to 2013. And look, this thing wasn't just a car. For a whole era, it was the car. It was the absolute peak of luxury, the benchmark that everyone else was trying to catch up to.
I mean, seriously, this was the car of presidents, CEOs, and yeah, even dictators. If you were anybody on the world stage, this is what you were being chauffeured around in. It was the ultimate symbol of "I've made it." Just an absolute rolling fortress of power and prestige. Nothing else even came close. So what about today? Well, you can pick one of these up for, get this, around $15,000. Yeah, 15 grand. Let that sink in for a second. A car that easily cost over $100,000 new is now selling for the price of a beat-up Civic. On paper, it sounds like the steal of the century, right? And that, my friends, is the big question, isn't it? What could possibly go wrong? Because you see, while the price tag fell off a cliff, the maintenance costs, well, they stayed right up there in the stratosphere. So what could go wrong? Oh boy, let's just say a lot. Pretty much everything.
Okay, let's start with the big one, the W221's most famous, or maybe infamous feature. It's the #1 reason these magnificent beasts end up on the scrap heap. We're talking about the suspension.
Now, to really get why this is such a financial black hole, you have to appreciate how amazing it was. The system is called Active Body Control, or ABC, and it is pure, unadulterated engineering magic. It uses a high-pressure hydraulic system to basically tell the laws of physics to take a hike. It keeps the car perfectly level through corners and just glides over bumps like they're not even there. When it's working, it is, without a doubt, the best riding suspension in the world. Period. But you probably noticed I keep saying when it works. And that's the key word, right? When. Because with ABC, it's not a question of if it's going to fail, it's a question of when it's going to fail, and just how much financial devastation it's going to cause when it does.
And it's this brutal, cascading failure that just decimates your bank account. It all starts innocently enough, right? One of the struts starts to leak. That makes the hydraulic pump work way harder than it should, trying to keep the pressure up, until it just gives up and dies. Then, all the little metal bits from that exploded pump get sent through the whole system, like a poison, clogging up all the super delicate valve blocks. And the final step in this little dance? Yeah, that's you, calling your financial advisor to see if you can pull from your 401k.
And I'm not exaggerating. Let's just look at the price tags for the parts, okay? The struts could be $4,000. The pump? That'll be another $3 grand, please. The valve block? Oh, just a cool $2,000. And remember, that's before you pay a specialist the crazy labor costs to install all this. You're staring down the barrel of a $10,000 plus repair bill, easily.
So here's the bottom line, and this is the craziest part. For what it costs to fix the suspension on your $15,000 S-Class, you could literally go out and buy a perfectly good, reliable, used Honda Civic. I mean, think about that. One of these things just keeps your fancy car from dragging on the ground. The other one is an entire functioning car. It's absolutely bonkers.
All right, take a deep breath, because if you think we're done, you are sadly mistaken. The suspension, that was just the appetizer. Now let's talk about the car's heart and nervous system, the engine and the transmission. So a lot of the S550s you'll see have the M273 V8 engine. It's a great engine, except for this one tiny, catastrophic flaw it inherited. See, deep inside the engine, there's this little gear, a sprocket, that runs the balance shaft. And for some reason, Mercedes made it out of a metal that's about as durable as a chocolate teapot. The teeth just wear away. This throws the whole engine's timing out of whack. You get a check engine light, and the fix requires taking pretty much the entire engine apart. Yeah. The amount of labor it takes to get to this one little cheap part is so insane that most shops will just tell you to forget it. It's actually cheaper to just find a used engine and swap the whole thing out. Can you believe that? An entire engine replacement, all because of one stupid, soft little gear. Okay, now for the transmission, the 7G-tronic. Its brain, this thing called the conductor plate, is basically a circuit board. And where did Mercedes decide to put this delicate piece of electronics? Well, they put it inside the transmission, where it gets to spend its entire life being slow-cooked in boiling hot transmission fluid. You don't have to be an engineer to know that's probably not a great idea.
So, when that poor, cooked circuit board finally gives up, the transmission just completely loses its mind. The car throws itself into limp mode, which basically locks you in one gear. You get these violent, slamming shifts, you have no power, and you're looking at a very, very expensive tow to a specialist who knows how to perform open-heart surgery on a Mercedes gearbox.
So the suspension is a nightmare, the engine can grenade itself, the transmission can have a seizure. But if you're still tempted, don't worry, the electrical system is waiting to finish you off. This car was a technological showcase back in the day, and now all that tech is, well, it's getting its revenge.
It's just this beautiful symphony of failure. You've got the SAM modules, they're kind of like the car's nerve centers. They fail and just create total electrical chaos. The giant command screen in the dash, it'll just go black one day. The doors, they'll decide they don't feel like locking anymore, or unlocking. The climate control, it gets stuck on full blast heat in August. And the grand finale, all these little computers refuse to go to sleep when you turn the car off, so they just sit there, quietly draining your battery overnight until it's completely dead.
So, with all this financial carnage, where does the W221 really stand in the grand pantheon of terrible ideas? Let's put it in context with some other legends.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hall of Shame for cheap, exotic luxury cars. And as you can see, our friend the W221 S-Class and its legendary ABC suspension, it earns a perfect 5 out of 5 money bag rating for financial destruction. It's right up there in the top tier, sharing the throne with wallet destroyers like the first-gen Bentley Continental GT. This thing is a legitimate heavyweight champion of breaking down expensively.
And yet, after all that, people still want them. They still dream about them. And why is that? It's because, honestly, nothing else for 15 grand even comes close to this level of luxury. You sit in the back of one of these, and it's like a private jet on wheels. The quality, the quietness, the way it makes you feel, it makes a brand new $60,000 BMW feel like a cheap rental car. For the money, the luxury experience is just unbeatable.
So, where does that leave us? After wading through all the horror stories, what's the final call? Is there any version, any spec of this car that's actually worth the insane gamble?
Okay, for 99.9% of you watching this, the answer is a simple, clear, loud buy. Seriously, run. Don't walk, run away from this car. This is not a cheap car. It is an incredibly expensive car that just happens to have a very low price to get in the door. Consider this your final warning.
But, okay, there is one tiny little sliver of hope. If you are absolutely dead set on doing this, here is the only version you should even consider. It's what we call the Survivor spec. You're looking for a 2010 or newer S550. That gets you the updated engine internals. And this is the most important part. It must have the standard airmatic suspension, not the hydraulic ABC nightmare. You need a folder of service records thicker than a phone book, and you absolutely must have a trusted, independent Mercedes mechanic that you know and love nearby. And of course, the real prerequisite, a savings account that is ready and willing to take a $5,000 hit without you even blinking.
And really, that's the whole deal right there, isn't it? What you're buying is a first-class private jet experience on 4 wheels for the price of an economy ticket. But you're always flying with the knowledge that a 5-figure repair bill could be waiting for you at any moment. Is that a bet you're really willing to make?
So yeah, our official verdict is a firm buy. It's a magnificent piece of engineering, truly a high point for the automobile. But it's a masterpiece that's probably best admired from a distance. Unless, of course, your savings account is just as over-engineered and robust as the car was when it first rolled off the line.